Under the Skin is a mesmerizing cinematic experience that boldly defies convention and challenges its audience in profound ways. Director Jonathan Glazer crafts a visually stunning and emotionally charged experience that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll. The plot follows an alien seductress played by Scarlett Johansson, who preys on unsuspecting men in Scotland. She lures them into a mysterious black void where they meet a grim fate. As the story unfolds, the alien questions her existence and humanity. Scarlett Johansson's performance is nothing short of exceptional. Her portrayal of an enigmatic alien seductress is a revelation. Her cold, almost robotic demeanor perfectly captures the essence of her character, making her both alluring and terrifying. It's a performance that is one of the most daring and captivating in her entire career. I think it's important to note too that this was released in 2013, 1 year after The Avengers came out. A billion-dollar movie, and here she is doing this weird borderline art house horror movie. The director casted non-actors for most of the characters in the movie to maintain a realistic feel to the dialogue and how Johansson's character interacts with the Scottish locals. Several scenes were spontaneous and captured with hidden cameras. Afterwards, the subjects were informed of the filming and asked permission to use the footage. The director ensured that the men understood the nature of their participation and what it entailed. The production team even designed their cameras for very specific scenes. Johansson would drive the van with the crew inside, towing a trailer containing all the equipment. As a result, you too feel like an alien as you sit there and listen to these men with very thick Scottish accents try to explain, where they were or how she can get to a certain spot by giving directions. It's so disorienting, and it really captures that feeling of how the alien character must be feeling, as she too is also very disoriented here.
Well, this has got to be pure hard to explain. Do you know what Asda is?
No.
I don't even know why you're pointing at words. See if you just drive straight along up there?
Yes.
Right then, see...
As a result, the world that we know as our home planet feels a lot more alien than it normally would. To craft the black room where her character ensnares men, a set with a reflective floor, blackout features, and custom lighting was constructed. In these scenes, men walked into a pool that sank beneath them, submerging them, and then from there CGI finalized the visuals. The film's cinematography, helmed by Daniel Landon, is a visual triumph. Scotland's bleak, otherworldly landscapes serve as a haunting backdrop, creating this eerie atmosphere that adds layer of meaning to the narrative. And like I said, there's just this level of unsettling authenticity to the film. Yes, it's Earth, but to the viewer, it doesn't really feel like home. Micah Levi's haunting and experimental score is the auditory heartbeat of the film. It's discordant, disorienting, and utterly hypnotic at times. Levi's music is integral to the film's emotional impact, amplifying the sense of unease and alienation. After watching the film, I immediately wanted to read the novel on which this film was based, and boy was I shocked at how vastly different the material was. Seriously, it's night and day. Sort of. You see, it kind of reminds me of 2001: A Space Odyssey, how the movie is very vague with its story and even its themes, whereas the book kind of explains everything outright to you. It's the same thing here. In the story, the central character is Iserly, which we're never actually given a name to Scarlett Johansson's character, but in the book, it's Iserly, an extraterrestrial dispatched to Earth by a wealthy corporation on her home planet to abduct unsuspecting hitchhikers. She incapacitates them with drugs and then transports them to her fellow aliens, who subject her captives to gruesome mutilation and overfeeding. This process is carried out to prepare humans for consumption, as human meat, known as vadsen, is considered a highly prized delicacy at the aliens' desolate homeworld. Throughout the narrative, extraterrestrial beings refer to humans as vadsels. It's less ambiguous and it leans way more into the body horror subgenre. But don't get me wrong, I love the book a lot. As someone who eats meat, I don't really get too grossed out by factory farming, mainly because a lot of my food doesn't actually come from that. A lot of the food I eat is harvested by me and my family. But with this, it's very much a commentary on factory farming. It takes the old narrative of we're going to put humans in this situation that humans put other animals in and try to gross out humans to be like, isn't this disgusting? This is what you're doing. To get more into the sci-fi stuff and less into the political aspect of it, the protagonist's original alien form is this weird mix between a fox and a primate. Her body was surgically altered to appear human, causing chronic pain in her daily life. I've always found that concept to be highly compelling, yet horrifying at the same time. On one hand, she justifies this constant and never-ending pain as a necessary evil. Still, on the other hand, she finds beauty in planet Earth and its inhabitants. She battles with her clashing ideals of serving a corporation and basic fundamental morality. Despite the novel being more detailed in depicting the protagonist's alien race and why they need humans, I do prefer the movie over the book. Both are very similar tonally with their tragic and haunting endings. However, the film's more ambiguous and minimalist nature does it for me. A lot more than the book. But don't get me wrong, the book is still fantastic and I highly recommend it. I just think that the film's ending is much more impactful than the book's. And while the book's ending is also really good, I'm so torn on it, but I have to go with the movie. Under the Skin is not a film for the faint of heart. It delves into themes of identity, sexuality, and the human experience with unapologetic intensity. Glazer's decision to prioritize atmosphere and mood over a traditional plot structure may alienate some viewers. Still, it's precisely this audacity that sets the film apart from anything else that was out there at the time. The film's deliberate ambiguity invites interpretation and discussion, leaving audiences with more questions than answers. It's a bold move that demands active viewer engagement, making it a thought-provoking experience that rewards those willing to delve into its depths. The film delves into the idea of identity, both individual and collective as well. Scarlett Johansson's character, an extraterrestrial being, grapples with her own identity as she navigates through human society. Her transformation and detachment from her true self highlight the alienation that can occur from disconnecting from one's origins. Throughout the movie, the character played by Johansson uses her sexuality as a tool to seduce and ensnare men. This act underscores themes of objectification and the power dynamics at play in sexual encounters. The film challenges traditional gender roles and confronts the objectifying gaze often directed towards women. The film's stark visuals and minimalist dialogue create a sense of isolation. The protagonist is isolated from her fellow aliens and the humans that she encounters. I think we can see a lot of the framework that we know as a A24 movie being present in this film. You get these long drawn out scenes with beautiful cinematography where it's a slow burn that ends in a very compelling and brutal ending. I was actually shocked to find out that this was an A24 film, but upon revisiting it for this video, I kind of realized, yeah, this is the definition of an A24 film as we know it. Mainly in the horror genre. I know they do other stuff, but strictly horror here is what I'm kind of going off of. Nowadays, A24 movies tend to be very successful at the box office. They're cult classics and even mainstream hits almost immediately upon release. But unfortunately, Under the Skin was a box office bomb. It only grossed $7.2 million on a $13.3 million budget. But regardless, it's still a masterpiece of a movie. Under the Skin is a daring and visually arresting work of art. It challenges the boundaries of cinema. With Scarlett Johansson's unforgettable performance, a haunting score, and a thought-provoking narrative, it's a film that deserves recognition as a modern classic. This is not just a movie, it's an exploration of human nature that demands to be seen and discussed. But I want to know, what do you think? Have you seen it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm Cole McCormick. You're watching Firewood Media. Stay tuned for more movie analysis videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching.